Welcome back to Daytime. I am joined by Stacey Kirkpatrick, a peer supporter and violence against women counseling student, as well as Joyce Drouin, former volunteer and peer support coordinator. And we're talking about a 25th anniversary celebration, but also what surrounds that anniversary and the work that you do in our community that's just so vital for women and for men. So I think on the first part, let's talk about the peer support and the violence against women counseling. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay, so the peer support program has 25 to 40 volunteers at any given time.
Wow.
Who provide support to women who are leaving abusive relationships. This program has been in effect for over 25 years, and we look at what things do women need when they're leaving relationships, what kinds of things, how can we support them in ways that are helpful to them. So through that they take a training that involves all kinds of aspects and how to be a good support person, how to help women plan goals to reach their goals in terms of their aspirations, in terms of where they want to go in life, and they're there for a listening ear. All of our volunteers come from the community, and often they just say, I just want to lend a helping hand. The program has been amazing over the years, and the number of women who have benefited from the program, support staff, volunteers, and women who have benefited is amazing.
It's countless, I'm sure. So you find you're a peer supporter and a counselor as well. How do you find work? Like, it must be very difficult because someone is coming to you in sometimes a dire situation. How do you go about dealing with that day to day? Do you find that really difficult, or do you take heart in the fact that you're helping someone?
Oh, it's great that we're helping people. I mean, I'm just a student now starting, and I've been doing this since January, but it's amazing the work that we can do. I started as a peer supporter, and I got to see sort of one side of it, and often women were sort of past the crisis. And now as a counselor, I'm seeing them in the moment when they're thinking of leaving. And, you know, what can people do to help them? If you know somebody who is in an abusive relationship, it's like we provide them with transitional housing support. We can direct them to other resources like, you know, the counseling that we provide, counseling for their children. We have a Children Who Witness program, and, you know, all the other things, the basics, like just where's the food cupboard and the baby cupboards in the community, so that they can get all the little pieces and bring it together so that they have as much support as possible to help them through this change.
I'm sure it's a question that you get asked often. When we hear about women in abusive situations, or men, women and or men in abusive situations, you know, you'd think the first time it happens you'd leave instantly, but some people stay. And so do you often get asked that question, why would someone stay?
It is quite common that people will ask, well, why does she stay? And the better question is, what is he doing that is keeping her in that situation? You know, men, and it is statistically more men,
of course, yes,
that are the abusers, but, you know, they instill fear in women. They threaten things like that they're going to take the children away, and they're going to fight them with custody assessments and battles that last sometimes years.
And I think some women think maybe they don't deserve better.
Women go into relationships until death do us part, and unfortunately that's what happens sometimes. But the big piece is that often they're hopeful that he will become the man that she married or that she entered into the relationship. Yes. Given the relationship cycle of violence, there are periods of time when he does become that man that he was when she met him. He'll promise he'll never do it again. Those kinds of things that happen. And what I think about is, if you can think of a situation where you were having a tough time in a relationship and there was shame and you were embarrassed that these things were going on and that you were being treated this way, what kinds of things helped you move on from that? So you had someone who supported you, someone who listened to you, someone who was genuine, someone you knew was confidential and did not give out your information. They walked with you. They didn't push you. They didn't tell you what to do. They supported you. And that's what the peer supporters do with the matches they are given.
I think that's really a key component right there, is it's confidential. Because there are some people who they're leaving a situation that's not necessarily on the, the 100% scale. They can kind of leave and there's almost a mutual agreement, we're done now. But some people have to leave in the dead of night, leave everything behind, and that's when it needs to be confidential. And you can come in and help at that moment, can't you?
Absolutely. We have shelters available. There are shelters all through Ottawa where you can phone and they will help you. Again, Western Ottawa and many of the other agencies around do have counseling services for women. And again, it's a matter of providing them the supports they need at the time they choose it, because they know the relationship best, they know their partner best, and they know the situation in terms of what may or may not happen.
Now, we only have a minute left, but you are having a 25th anniversary celebration. It's a private celebration, but it's really exciting because it's the peer support and women that you've worked with for the 20 years.
Yeah. Absolutely. We are very excited to bring peer supporters, staff members, and women who have benefited from the program over the past 25 years together to celebrate the milestones and the journeys women have made in terms of their lives and working in the community.
So if someone at home is watching us right now and they feel that they might be in that situation, or they know someone in that situation, WOCRC.ca could be step number one, couldn't it?
Absolutely.
And that's where they can maybe start on their journey to getting better. Thank you so much. We could have talked again for hours and hours. Such great guests today. We're already done with today's show. We're going to have a whole lot more on tomorrow's daytime. We hope that you'll tune in then. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.